Can you get into this lip? Can you tell that I have no makeup? No, but I do. What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Latanya Shalise, and welcome back to my channel. I give a huge shout out to all of my subscribers. Hey LS fam, before we get into it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe so that you can join the LS fam. Now, this is for my basic beauties. Basic beauties are the ones that I want to wear makeup, but I really don't. I don't know how to apply my makeup. Can you just show me a few tips? This video is for you guys. I'm going to show you my tips and tricks that I use to apply my makeup. Now let's get right into it. Okay, you guys, the first thing that I will be doing in this routine are my eyebrows. Be sure that you have already washed, moisturized, and primed your face before applying any type of makeup. I will be using my Benefit Precise Brow Brush in the color number 4. When filling in your brows, you want to start at least a tiny space over from your inner brow, just like I'm showing you right now. Not exactly the beginning, but just enough over. You want it to look as natural as possible. You will need to go underneath the arch of your brow and then fill in the gaps in your brow. Now I'm going to go back over the missing gap, and at the top of my brow, I'm going to create an actual arch because I am missing a little bit of hair right there from, getting waxes all the time. So it's not as thick as I want it. So I'm going to create the thickness for my brow at the top. Now I'm just going to comb in the product into my hair so that way I can add more product to build my eyebrow to the thickness that I would like. Be sure to use a gentle hand when doing this if your brows are as thick as mine. Remember, you're going to be building the product on, so you're going to go over this step multiple times. Just like the other side of my eye, I'm going to go back under my eyebrow and create that line, and then I'm going to fill in the missing gaps that I see. Once I fill in the missing gaps to create my actual thickness of my brow, I'm going to take the end of the Precise brush and I'm going to comb that product in. It's going to show that I still have a few spaces that I need to go back over. So that's what I'm doing now. If you feel like you need to add more, you can, just like I'm doing right now, because I'm creating the shape of my brow by adding in the product. If you need to add more, that's fine. Like I stated in the beginning, just be mindful of how thick you're trying to create your brows. Now that I have my brows to my liking, I'm going to go ahead and conceal my brows with my LA Girl concealer in the color Warm Honey. I'm going to start underneath my inner brow and follow my arch and do the same for the top brow as well. As you can see, I had to go back over it because I still needed a little bit more concealer, and I'm going to add a lot more so that way I can conceal my eyes. I'm going to do the same step for the next brow as well. For this video, I decided to use the brush that was on the end of the LA Girl concealer instead of my actual angle brush because it's a little more beginner friendly versus using an angle brush. You can follow the same steps if you have an angle brush. The purpose of concealing your brows is to give you that effortless, clean look. Using my Real Technique Expert Concealer Brush, I'm going to dab the product into my brow bone. I'm going to follow the arch of my brow and smooth that line out. Once that is done, you want to bring the Access Concealer down into your eyelid. You want to make sure you are blending when it comes to concealing your eyes. This will be a tedious process, only because you will have to go over it multiple times with your brush or either your beauty blender. So just be patient when it comes to this step. Next, I'm going to follow the curve of my brow at the top and bring the product down into my brow. Quick tip, if you filled in your brow too much and it's thicker than it normally would be if you was to do them, you can use the concealer to thin it out to the exact brow that you're trying to achieve. Now I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend everything a little bit more. I'm going to correct any harsh lines that I see under my brows as well. When doing this step, you want to make sure you're using your beauty blender or your brush at the top of your eyebrow as well. You want to blend everything in together, even the excess concealer. So make sure you guys are blending as much as you can. Now it's time to move on to the next brow. We're going to follow the same steps that we did on the first one, but we will be moving a little faster. Towards the end, I took my beauty blender to connect the concealer that was in the middle of my brows to make everything even and smooth everything out. You should look like you have two eyebrows, not one. Okay, you guys, please do not come for me in these comments. I ran out of my Fenty primer that I usually put on before I do my makeup, but I had to use my NYX HD Studio primer instead. I don't particularly like this one because it goes on white and it tends to make me look crazy, like blue in the face, like black blue. But I had to minimize my pores. If you decide to get this primer, just be sure not to put too much on. I didn't want to get any outbreaks because I didn't use any type of primer. So that's why I ended up just putting this primer on after I did my eyebrows. I know I look crazy, you guys, but trust me, it's not going to look like this at the end. Make sure when you're doing your makeup that you have different types of primers on hand. My top two primers is my Fenty primer as well as my MAC primer. Now I'm going to conceal under my eyes to get rid of any dark circles or any bags that I may have. I will be using my LA Girl concealer in Warm Honey again. I'm going to take my beauty blender and dab the product into my skin. First, I'm going to start underneath my eye and I'm going to go over my eyelid again just one more time as well. Be sure to do this for both sides. Now I will be using my MaryKay foundation in the color Bronze C160. I'm going to take my Real Technique pointed foundation brush to apply the product on my skin. When applying foundation on your face, you want to make sure that you're putting an even amount on. You also want to put foundation on your neck as well. You want to do that step because your neck and face should be the same color. You shouldn't be able to tell the difference. Going in with my beauty blender and my Real Technique foundation brush, I'm going to build the product into my skin. This foundation is specifically for medium coverage, meaning that it's more natural looking versus full coverage. Another medium matte coverage would be Fenty. Fenty does have a good foundation if you're going for that natural look. If you want a full coverage look, I typically would use MAC. MAC foundation is a little thicker. It doesn't dry as fast as the Fenty foundation, but it gives you that airbrush type look. You look more refined with a full coverage type foundation. Medium coverage is great for everyday type looks, which what I am doing now. This foundation still gives me the option to build the product on. It doesn't dry as fast, but that's a good thing because you don't want it to dry too fast to the point that you cannot blend the product into your skin. When applying your foundation, make sure you are covering your forehead, your eyes, your nose, underneath your eyes. Also, go a little bit over your hairline because you don't want to tell the difference between your scalp versus your face. It should look the same. Now, every foundation that you may have, it may not be your exact color, but you have to find one as close to your skin color. As you can see, I'm adding more foundation on because I needed a little more coverage for what I was going for. Now I'm just going over my foundation with my brush and making sure that I'm blending everything in. That extra product that I did put on my face, I'm just blending it on my skin. It's giving me that look that I want, meaning I don't want to see any type of blemishes, acne scars, none of that. I did dip my foundation brush back in my foundation because I needed a little more coverage underneath my neck to get rid of all those dark marks that I was seeing from my acne scars. Using my beauty blender, I'm going to go back over my face to even everything out. Another great thing about having a beauty blender is that it can apply all types of creams, liquids, powder, everything. So sometimes you might not have to use a brush to apply some of these products on your face. You can just use your beauty blender for this. There are different types of beauty blenders that you can buy for certain things that you want to do, like foundation, concealer, powder. So it's different beauty blenders out. I was just checking out how good my foundation looks. My skin looks even all over. When it comes to highlighting your face, you can use 2 or 1 shades lighter than your skin color. This is if you want your T-zone to be a little brighter. When highlighting your T-zone, you want to start on the side of your nose and bring it underneath your eyes on both sides. You can apply as much as you like, but it's based off your preference. Me, I didn't want too much, so I only went light today. Next, you start in between your eyebrows and follow the bridge of your nose. You can also put a little at the top of your forehead if you would like, but again, this is based off your preference. Some people put a lot of concealer on when it's time to highlight, but for a natural look, you won't need as much. I also added a little bit under the crease of my nose and as well as my chin. Okay, sorry about the brief intermission. I'm sorry I had to interrupt you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know if you are ready to move on to basic Baddie at this part where you just highlighted your face, you can go ahead and move on and click on the suggested link. But if you're still at that beginning stage, you can stay right at this spot and just continue on with the video. Sorry about the interruption. I just wanted to let you guys know. Back to the video. Now it's time to blend the highlight into my face. I'm going to start under my eyes and go upward into my hairline. Be sure to pat the concealer down under your eyes because remember we're trying to highlight our T-zone. When I tell y'all the beauty blender is going to be your best friend when it comes to doing your makeup, you're going to thank me. You're going to see me go over this spot so many times before I move on to the other side because I'm going to make sure that everything is blended. I want to make sure that there's no excess concealer on my face. Moving on to the other side, I'm going to pat down and go up. Pat down and go up. Don't go down when it's time to go up. So again, I'm showing you guys that I'm just blending everything in. I'm making sure the product is melting into my skin like it should be, which it is doing. So I'm pretty much satisfied with that. So I just wanted to show you guys in depth on how I highlight my face when I'm doing a natural look. Now, if I was doing a more full coverage look, I would have way more concealer on my face right about now. I'm talking about a lot. And I would be blending for my life. Do you hear me? I would be blending as hard as I can. Since this is just a natural look, and I just wanted to do this look, so if you guys wanted to go outside like this without any extra stuff, just the foundation and maybe a little highlight and a little gloss, you can. So that's what this look is going to be for today. I'm highlighting my T-zone, and when you get to the forehead part, it's okay to go a little bit over the brows because you still have a little highlight that's up there, so that's fine, but make sure you're blending. I decided to go back and fill in my eyebrows because they were a little thin at the end after I had put on my foundation. It's okay to make any corrections that you may see later on when you're doing your makeup. So that's why I'm just filling in my brows right now. But if your brows are good, then you're good to go. You won't have to do this part. Okay, you guys. Now I'm going to use my Urban Decay De-Slick Setting Spray to set my face. This is going to help with my oil control as well as keeping my makeup in place. And I'm going to add a little bit of lip gloss on to end this look. Well, that concludes my basic beauty routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to click the suggested link above and check out my basic Baddie routine part 2, which will cover the rest of this natural glam tutorial. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn your bell notifications on to know when I drop my next video. Until next time, later.